So, greetings from Dallas. I'm on my way back to Hong Kong after my graduation commencement at DIU, and I'm up in the air in the plane now. So, thanks to our new Gen president, Aber, for inviting me to share my PhD journey. So, I'd like to express my sincere thanks to all of you. The prayers, encouragement, and good examples to me, which fueled my completion of the PhD. And special thanks, to the Jan family members who attended my graduation. The highlight was not only the ceremony, but also the catching up and the debriefing time we had together. So, to be frank, my feelings are mixed. Yeah, because an end always implies a new beginning. And yes, on the 9th of May, I'm officially a doctor, the second PhD in world arts, and the first Asian to get this one of a kind degree in ethnodoxology. So, and I and Chris joined, Anya, our first PhD in world arts, and there will be more crazy ones to come. My dissertation title is Community Arts for Holistic Well-Being, an ethnographic study of praise dance for Chinese people. So besides academic goals, my personal goals with this topic research is to advocate for community arts as a means to emphasize the value of community and how local artistic expression can bridge the secular and Christian worlds and bring better well-being and better being holistically. So our world, especially under the influence of the pandemic and technology is so fragmented, isolated, and impersonal. So we need more holistic thinking in our lives and missions, particularly in understanding the gospel. I will be serving as a full-time faculty member in the ICS department of Alliance Bible Seminary, where I am currently an adjunct and researcher. And I hope to advocate doxology through this platform with Chinese churches and introduce more training to Hong Kong. So, reflecting my journey, PhD journey, it still feels like a dream. It started with 2016, the A Ask for a Better Future, and then 2018, the GCOM in Kenya, and led to my first cohort of PhD in world arts. So, another word for dream is feeling heaven-like. So, surrounded by amazing teachers, colleagues, and friends, and uplifted by them in God's grace. So it's been almost 6 years of MA level entry courses, doctoral coursework, exams, and dissertation research and writing. So a proverb that rings true is, it takes a village to raise a PhD. So SIVA and Gen community is definitely crucial for such an emerging discipline. So, and I have, I'm grateful that I have the best dissertation committee composed of respectful ethnomusicologists, missiologists with Taiwan, Hong Kong, US, and African backgrounds. And they have been incredibly supportive. So when I reflect my biggest struggle in this journey, in addition to the passing of my father-in-law during my dissertation writing phase, another biggest struggle is that I always wish my dissertation is a more theological and missiological research. So, however, having a very comprehensive ethnographic study is already too much for a PhD dissertation. And at one time, I was challenged by my outside reader with a valuable concern that I may be questioned by some Christian scholars with my research paradigm of critical realism. Critical realism is a philosophical stance and approach that asserts the existence of a reality independent of human perceptions, and yet recognize that our understanding of it is shaped by social and cultural influences. And this may make my theoretical stance vulnerable because critical realism places a layer of human interpretation between God's creation and our understanding. So actually, this challenge is triggered my previous struggle in whether like to move the research into a more missiological and theological approach. And actually, James, thanks to James, he spent 2 hours counseling me, during the Lausanne Congress. And Doris encouraged me a lot and inspired me to think about why I do a PhD. I asked myself, what I'm going to do and what I'm actually getting a PhD for. And amazingly, all of your faces came up in my mind. God shows me how hard that all of you been stepping one foot in the world and then another foot in the church and Christians community, so as to bring dialogues and build bridges between them. I also thought of Paul Hibbert. Paul Hibbert, who is a distinct missiologist in the Christian world and a famous anthropologist in the secular academia. So I found that it's really our calling and job description to fill that gap and build the bridges. So I finally find my own identity and voice as a Christian scholar and ethnodoxologist and remain my research stand. So thanks to all of you. And finally, I know this is not the finish line. This is just a starting point. So getting a PhD at 45 years old is tricky. So unlike a lot of young scholars, I'm counting down my life and don't want to waste a bit. So I know how frustrated it could be if it's not in good time, God's timing, and struggling in people's issues. I do value, the knowledge and experience I've earned, my personal growth, especially during this journey. And most of all, actually, is the friendships and support from all of you, eDocs people. And you always have been a important source of inspiration and encouragement to me. I feel very fortunate to have found my tribe in my middle age. And before a PhD, I already proud to be an ethnodoxologist, a title that might seem foreign to many, but which captures a very specific, special, and vital identity. So let's fill the gaps between the world and the global church together. So, and please pray for me, for patience as I engage with the seminary community with fresh eyes. My upcoming books project, including a small books of arts and trauma healing with Hong Kong case studies, and also a bigger, much bigger project of a Chinese eDocs handbook. And James already gave me, big and mind-blowing ideas on it. And also getting certification of ATH, ABF, and for publication of some articles based on my previous work. So I'd like to conclude with this Bible verse. If you, like, then you can, read it together with me. Because God was so gracious, so very generous, here I am, and I'm not about to let His grace go to waste. Haven't I worked hard trying to do more than any of others? Even then, my work didn't amount to all that much. It was God giving me the work to do, God giving me the energy to do it. So blessed to you all, and looking forward to seeing you in the next JC and Gen meeting.